5 hidden reasons your hormones are getting weaker every month. Fix this before it's too late. Are you tired of feeling like a stranger in your own body, wrestling with a constant barrage of symptoms that nobody else seems to understand? The exhaustion that settles deep in your bones, the frustrating and unpredictable weight gain, no matter how little you eat, the hair that thins on your head while appearing in places you never wanted, the painful and cystic acne that makes you want to hide your face, and the menstrual cycle that feels more like a chaotic lottery than a predictable rhythm. This is the silent, daily battle of polycystic ovary syndrome, a struggle that so often leaves you feeling isolated, confused, and unheard by a world that tells you to simply try harder. But what if I told you there is a deep and ancient wisdom, a gentle and compassionate path that understands the delicate interplay between the mind, the body, and the spirit? What if the relentless turmoil you feel inside isn't a life sentence, but a profound invitation to come back home to yourself? Good news, the answers you seek may not lie in a more aggressive fight against your body, but in a softer, more mindful way of being, a wisdom long cherished by monks in quiet monasteries. These ancient masters understood that true health is not a battle to be won, but a balance to be restored. In today's video, we are going to walk a different path together. We will uncover the 5 hidden reasons your hormones may be growing weaker each month, and we will explore how to gently and lovingly fix this before it feels too late, drawing upon a philosophy of profound simplicity and inner peace. So stick around, because you don't want to miss these life-changing insights that have the power to transform your relationship with your body and your health. Before we begin, I would love to know where you're joining us from today. Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to share a part of your story if you feel comfortable, because your journey matters here. And if you're looking for a community that truly understands, a place of solace and support, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a message of hope and healing from Sacred Women's Health. First, let's explore the silent storm that gathers within, the unseen chaos that sets the stage for so much of our pain, and understand why this is happening to you. Before we can begin to heal, we must first offer ourselves the grace of understanding. For so long, you may have carried the heavy burden of blame, wondering what you did wrong to deserve this struggle. You are not at fault. Your body is not broken, and it is not your enemy. It is a deeply intelligent and responsive system that is trying its best to communicate with you amidst the noise and chaos of the modern world. Imagine your hormonal system as a magnificent symphony orchestra, with each hormone playing a specific instrument. For this symphony to create beautiful music, every instrument must play in harmony, at the right volume and at the right time. In a woman with polycystic ovary syndrome, it's as if the percussion section, representing androgens or male hormones, has decided to play a thunderous, unending drum solo, drowning out the delicate melody of the flutes and violins, which represent estrogen and progesterone. At the same time, the conductor of this orchestra, insulin, has become overwhelmed and is shouting its instructions, creating more confusion and discord. This hormonal chaos is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of a body trying to adapt to an environment it was never designed for. We live in a world of chronic stress, of processed foods that are unrecognizable to our ancient biology, of sleep schedules that defy the natural rhythms of the sun and moon, and of a pervasive sense of disconnection from ourselves and from each other. This is not your fault. You are a product of nature, living in an unnatural world, and your body is simply sending out distress signals in the only way it knows how. It's a cry for help, a plea for balance. And you are not the only one hearing this cry. Millions upon millions of women across the globe are walking this very same path, feeling this very same confusion, and yearning for this very same relief. You are part of a vast, unseen sisterhood, and in that shared experience, there is immense power and a profound sense of belonging. So let go of the blame. Release the feeling that you must fight harder. Instead, I invite you to soften, to listen, and to become a compassionate partner to your body. We are not here to declare war on our hormones. We are here to gently guide them back into their beautiful, harmonious rhythm, creating a sanctuary of emotional and physical safety where they can finally feel at ease. Our journey begins not with a new pill or a restrictive diet, but with the very source of our inner turmoil, the restless mind. The first hidden reason your hormones are in a constant state of distress is the ceaseless storm within your own mind. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a concept known as the monkey mind. Imagine a restless monkey, endlessly jumping from branch to branch, chattering, screeching, and never sitting still. This is the state of the untrained human mind, swinging wildly from worries about the future to regrets about the past, from self-criticism to judgment of others, never finding a moment of peace in the present. For a woman with polycystic ovary syndrome, this internal chaos is not just a mental annoyance. It is a powerful physiological trigger. Every worried thought, every anxious feeling, sends a signal to your adrenal glands to release cortisol, the stress hormone. In ancient times, cortisol was our friend. It gave us the burst of energy needed to flee from a predator. But today, the predators are our deadlines, our financial worries, our traffic jams, and our negative self-talk. Our bodies don't know the difference. The stress response is activated constantly, flooding our system with cortisol day in and day out. This chronic elevation of cortisol is devastating for hormonal balance. It directly tells your body to store fat, especially around the midsection. It disrupts ovulation, making your cycles irregular or absent. And most critically for polycystic ovary syndrome, it worsens insulin resistance, the very core of the condition. When your cells become resistant to insulin, your pancreas has to pump out more and more of it to get the job done. And these high insulin levels are what signal your ovaries to produce excess androgens, the hormones responsible for so many of our most painful symptoms. But can simply calming your mind truly impact the hormones circulating in your blood? The ancient masters believed it was the very foundation of all healing, and modern science is now confirming this. When you learn to quiet the monkey mind, even for a few moments each day, you are directly turning down the cortisol faucet. You are sending a powerful signal of safety to your entire nervous system, telling it that you are not in danger, that it can stop being in a constant state of fight or flight. This allows your body to shift its energy away from survival and towards repair, digestion, and crucially, hormonal regulation. The practice is not about emptying your mind, which is an impossible task. It is about learning to observe your thoughts without getting swept away by them. It is about finding the calm center in the midst of the storm. You can begin this practice in the simplest of ways. As you wash the dishes, instead of letting your mind race, bring your full attention to the sensation of the warm water on your hands, the smell of the soap, the sound of the plates clinking together. When you are drinking a cup of tea, feel the warmth of the mug, taste the subtle flavors, and notice the steam rising. This is mindfulness. This is the act of gently bringing the monkey mind back to the present moment, over and over again. You can also dedicate 5 minutes each morning to simply sitting and noticing your breath. As you inhale, feel your belly rise, and as you exhale, feel it fall. When a thought comes, as it inevitably will, simply acknowledge it without judgment and gently guide your attention back to your breath. It is not a failure to have thoughts. It is a victory every time you notice you have drifted away and lovingly guide yourself back. This simple, consistent practice of calming the mind is the most profound first step you can take. It creates the foundation upon which all other healing can be built. But mastering the mind is only the first step. There's a hidden saboteur in our environment, something we consume every day without a second thought, that keeps the flames of inflammation burning brightly. The next reason is something that even the most disciplined monks had to be wary of, for it clouds the body as much as a restless mind clouds the spirit. May I ask you something personal? How many times have you felt completely alone, confused by what's happening inside your own body, as if no one around you could possibly understand the frustration and the grief. I know how much that hurts, and I want you to know you are not alone in this journey. If this resonates with you, please leave a comment below that says, "I understand this struggle." Just write those exact words. Your message could be a beacon of strength for another woman who is scrolling through these comments right now, needing to know that she is not the only one. Your voice matters in this community, and your presence here makes us all stronger. By sharing these simple words, you are creating a ripple of connection and support that can be felt by women all over the world. The second hidden reason your hormones are struggling is a body that is chronically inflamed, largely fueled by the food we eat. Monastic traditions have long understood that food is not merely fuel for the body. It is information, medicine, and a direct connection to the earth. The diets in many monasteries are characterized by their simplicity: whole, unprocessed foods, grown locally and eaten with gratitude and mindfulness. This approach is not about restriction or deprivation. It is about providing the body with pure, calming information that it can easily understand and utilize. In stark contrast, the modern Western diet is filled with confusing and agitating signals. Highly processed foods, refined sugars, and industrial seed oils are perceived by our immune system as foreign invaders, triggering a low-grade, chronic inflammatory response throughout the body. For a woman with polycystic ovary syndrome, this inflammation is like gasoline poured on a fire. Inflammation is a primary driver of insulin resistance, making it even harder for your cells to hear insulin's message. This systemic inflammation also contributes directly to the acne that appears on your skin, the pain you might feel in your joints, and the fatigue that weighs you down. It also disrupts the delicate communication between your gut and your brain, affecting your mood and further stressing your system. You might be wondering if changing your diet is just another exhausting task on your to-do list, another set of rules to follow perfectly. But what if it wasn't about restriction, but about returning to a state of simplicity and respect for your body? What if, instead of focusing on what to cut out, you focused on what to lovingly add in? The wisdom here is to shift your perspective from one of battle to one of nourishment. Think of it as right nourishment, a way of eating that honors your body's innate need for peace and clarity. This begins by crowding out the inflammatory foods with beautiful, life-giving alternatives. Instead of a sugary breakfast cereal, perhaps you could try a warm bowl of oatmeal with berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon, a spice known for its ability to help with blood sugar regulation. Instead of a sandwich on processed white bread for lunch, maybe a large, colorful salad with grilled chicken or chickpeas, drizzled with olive oil. When you eat, practice the art of mindful eating. Before you take your first bite, take a moment to look at your food, to smell the aromas, and to feel a sense of gratitude for the nourishment it will provide. Chew slowly, savoring each bite. This simple act of paying attention improves digestion and helps your brain register when you are full, preventing overeating and giving your digestive system the respect it deserves. Gently incorporating anti-inflammatory foods can make a profound difference. Turmeric, with its active compound curcumin, is a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. You can add it to soups, stir-fries, or even a warm golden milk latte. Ginger is another wonderful root that can calm the digestive system and reduce inflammation. Healthy fats from avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil are essential for producing healthy hormones and cooling the fires of inflammation. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one small, compassionate change. This week, perhaps you could focus on adding one more vegetable to your dinner each night. Next week, maybe you can swap out sugary drinks for water infused with lemon and mint. Each small step taken with love is a powerful move towards healing. If this idea of mindful nourishment resonates with you, take a moment to press the like button to help this message reach other women who need to hear it. Nourishing the body with calming foods is crucial, But what about the fundamental energy that flows through it? There is a deep, primal rhythm that modern life has stolen from us, a cycle that governs our hormones more profoundly than we realize. The third hidden reason lies not in what we eat, but in how we rest and honor the sacred cycle of day and night. The third hidden reason your hormonal symphony is out of tune is the profound disruption of your body's natural rhythm, particularly the sacred cycle of sleep and wakefulness. For millennia, human beings lived in harmony with the rising and setting of the sun. Monastic life continues to honor this primal rhythm, with early mornings dedicated to quiet contemplation and evenings that wind down as darkness falls. This adherence to the natural light-dark cycle is not just a spiritual practice. It is a deep biological necessity. Our bodies contain an internal master clock, known as the circadian rhythm, which governs the release of nearly every hormone, including those that manage our menstrual cycle, our stress response, and our metabolism. This clock is calibrated by our exposure to light and darkness. When we expose ourselves to the bright blue light of screens, our phones, tablets, and televisions late into the night, we send a confusing signal to our brain. We are essentially telling our body that it is still midday, which suppresses the release of melatonin, the hormone of darkness and sleep. Without adequate melatonin, falling asleep becomes difficult, and the quality of our sleep becomes shallow and unrefreshing. Is it really possible that the simple act of sleeping better could be a powerful medicine for your hormones? In a world that glorifies being busy and rewards sleepless nights, the most radical act of self-care is to claim your right to deep, restorative rest. The answer is a resounding yes. Sleep is not a passive state of inactivity. It is a highly active and essential period of detoxification, repair, and hormonal recalibration. During the deep stages of sleep, your brain cleanses itself of metabolic waste. Your body repairs muscle tissue. And most importantly, for polycystic ovary syndrome, your cortisol levels naturally drop to their lowest point, giving your adrenal glands a much-needed break. At the same time, proper sleep dramatically improves your insulin sensitivity, meaning your body needs to produce less insulin to manage your blood sugar the next day. When we consistently fail to get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, we are robbing our bodies of this critical healing period. A single night of poor sleep can leave you with the insulin sensitivity of a pre-diabetic person the following day. It increases cravings for sugar and refined carbohydrates, making it harder to make nourishing food choices. It leaves you feeling fatigued, which makes mindful movement feel impossible. And it keeps your cortisol levels elevated, perpetuating the cycle of stress and hormonal imbalance. Creating a sanctuary for rest is one of the most loving gifts you can give yourself. This doesn't require expensive gadgets or complicated routines. It simply requires intention and a reverence for the power of darkness. An hour before you intend to sleep, begin a wind-down ritual. Dim the lights in your home. Turn off all screens. The blue light is the enemy of melatonin. Instead, you could read a book, take a warm bath with Epsom salts, listen to calming music, or do some gentle stretching. Make your bedroom a true haven for sleep. Keep it as dark as possible, cool, and quiet. This intentional transition from the activity of the day to the quiet of the night honors your body's innate rhythm. It tells your nervous system that it is safe to let go, to surrender to the healing power of sleep. By reclaiming the sanctity of your sleep, you are not being lazy or unproductive. You are engaging in one of the most powerful and essential acts of hormonal healing available to you. Once we've calmed the mind, nourished the body, and honored our natural rhythms of rest, we must address the way we move our physical form through the world. But this isn't about punishing exercise or a battle to burn calories. The fourth hidden reason reveals a common misconception about movement that may actually be making your polycystic ovary syndrome worse, and it uncovers the monastic secret to building true, sustainable vitality. The fourth hidden reason our hormones remain in a state of turmoil comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of movement. In our modern fitness culture, We are often told that the only path to results is through high-intensity, punishing workouts that leave us exhausted and sore. We are taught to view exercise as a war against our bodies, a way to burn calories and force it into submission. For a woman whose system is already under immense stress from polycystic ovary syndrome, this aggressive approach can be incredibly counterproductive. Intense, long-duration exercise is perceived by the body as another major stressor, triggering a significant release of cortisol. While a small amount of cortisol from exercise can be beneficial for a body already swimming in excess stress hormones, this kind of movement only adds fuel to the inflammatory fire, further disrupting blood sugar, taxing the adrenal glands, and worsening hormonal chaos. The wisdom found in monastic traditions offers a profoundly different perspective. Here, movement is not about punishment, but about presence. It is about moving with intention, about cultivating life force energy, or ki, rather than depleting it. Think of the practice of walking meditation, where the focus is not on the distance covered or the calories burned, but on the sensation of the feet touching the earth, the feeling of the air on the skin, and the rhythm of the breath in the body. This is mindful movement, a way of being fully present in the physical form without aggression or judgment. But haven't we always been told to exercise harder, especially when dealing with weight resistance? The wisdom here is about learning to work with your unique body, not against it. The goal is to choose forms of movement that improve insulin sensitivity and build strength without sending your stress hormones into overdrive. This means shifting the focus from intensity to consistency and from punishment to pleasure. Gentle, consistent movement is a powerful medicine for polycystic ovary syndrome. Activities like walking, especially in nature, are incredibly beneficial. A 30-minute walk after a meal can do wonders for helping your body manage blood sugar. Gentle yoga or tai chi can help to calm the nervous system, improve flexibility, and connect you more deeply with your body's subtle signals. Strength training with weights can also be incredibly helpful for building muscle mass, which acts like a sponge for glucose, thereby improving insulin sensitivity. The key is to listen to your body. On days when you feel energetic, you might have a longer, more vigorous session. On days when you feel fatigued, a short, gentle walk or some simple stretching is more than enough. The goal is to finish your movement feeling more energized, not more depleted. The practical application of this is to find a form of movement that you genuinely enjoy. If you hate running, don't force yourself to run. Perhaps you love to dance or swim or work in a garden. Any movement that brings you joy and doesn't leave you feeling drained is a healing movement. It's about infusing your physical activity with the same mindfulness you bring to your breath or your food. When you walk, feel the strength in your legs. When you stretch, feel the release in your muscles. This practice transforms exercise from a chore to be endured into a celebration of what your body can do. It becomes an act of loving kindness towards yourself. We have now addressed the mind, the body, our sacred rest, and our intentional movement. But the final, and perhaps most profound, reason our hormones weaken is something far more intangible. It is a wound not in the physical body, but in the spirit, and it is the one that so often keeps us feeling the most isolated and alone. The final step on this journey is about finding the ultimate source of healing, which springs from a well of self-compassion and genuine connection. The fifth and final hidden reason your hormones are getting weaker every month is a deep-seated spiritual and emotional wound, a profound lack of self-compassion, and a feeling of disconnection from a supportive community. From a Buddhist perspective, one of the greatest sources of suffering is the illusion of separation and the harsh inner critic that constantly tells us we are not good enough. Living with polycystic ovary syndrome can amplify this inner voice to a deafening roar. You might look in the mirror and criticize the acne on your skin or the shape of your body. You might feel shame or frustration when your period doesn't arrive or when you struggle with fertility. This constant stream of negative self-talk is not just an emotional burden. It is a chronic, low-grade stressor that keeps your cortisol levels elevated and your nervous system on high alert, perpetuating the very hormonal imbalances you are trying to heal. Can being kinder to yourself actually change your biology? It may sound too simple to be true, but the mind-body connection is absolute and unyielding. The practice of metta, or loving kindness, is a cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom. It is the radical act of offering yourself the same warmth, care, and compassion that you would offer to a beloved friend who is suffering. When you replace the voice of the inner critic with a voice of unconditional kindness, you are fundamentally changing your internal chemistry. You are lowering cortisol, boosting oxytocin and serotonin, and sending a message of profound safety to every cell in your body. This allows your system to finally shift out of survival mode and into a state of healing and regeneration. This practice can begin with a simple, tangible gesture. Place your hand over your heart, take a deep breath, and silently offer yourself a few words of kindness. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. When you notice the inner critic arising, you can simply acknowledge it and say, I see you, but today I choose kindness. This is not about narcissism or ignoring your challenges. It is about providing yourself with the emotional foundation necessary to face those challenges with resilience and grace. Alongside this inner work is the equally vital need for sangha or community. The feeling of isolation is a major stressor. When you feel that you are the only one going through this struggle, the burden feels impossibly heavy. Finding a community of women who understand your journey, who can validate your feelings and share their own wisdom, is a powerful antidote to this isolation. It reduces the stress of feeling alone and creates a collective energy of hope and healing. A true sangha is a safe space where you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment, where your pain is seen and your victories are celebrated. It reminds you that you are part of something larger than yourself. By consciously cultivating self-compassion and seeking out genuine community, you are healing the deepest wound of all. You are addressing the spiritual and emotional exhaustion that underlies so much of the physical manifestation of polycystic ovary syndrome. You are weaving a safety net of love and support, both internally and externally, that allows your body to finally feel secure enough to find its way back to balance. These 5 pillars: a calm mind, a nourished body, honored rest, mindful movement, and a compassionate spirit, are not separate tasks to be checked off a list. They are an interconnected tapestry, each thread supporting and strengthening the others. This is the holistic path to healing, a journey back to the beautiful, harmonious symphony that has always been waiting within you. If you made it this far, it means you are truly searching for answers, for relief, and for a lasting sense of hope. This channel was created for that exact purpose, to serve as a beacon for you, to help you understand the intricate language of your body, to help you regain a sense of control, and to guide you toward gentle, sustainable solutions that actually work in the real world. You are not alone on this path anymore. We are building a sacred and safe space right here, a community where women like you can find unwavering support, share their stories, and access real information that makes a profound difference in their lives. We are walking this path together, hand in hand, reminding each other of our strength and our innate capacity for healing. If this is the kind of guidance and compassionate support you've been searching for, I warmly invite you to become a part of our growing community. Subscribe now and be sure to turn on the notifications. Every single video we create is a loving step forward on the journey toward a healthier, more vibrant, and happier you. Welcome home.